No. No. No, I don't buy it.
What?
You're not a hitman. You can't be. I tried looking you up and nothing. It's like you don't even exist.
I guess I'm just your fantasy.
So what's the biggest difference between the real you and your occupation?
By the way, my name is Gary Johnson, and I'm a fake hitman.
Hi and welcome back to Real Reviews, where today I'm taking a look at Hitman. It is the latest acquisition from Netflix, which has been out in cinemas for 2 weeks before it gets whipped onto the streaming service. It is written and directed by Richard Linklater. The name will be familiar to many because he is an indie legend. He created Slacker way back in the early 90s. He did Dazed and Confused. He is also behind the Sunset trilogy. I think that's Before Sunset, After Sunrise, and Before Midnight. Could be the other way round. He was also behind Through a Scanner Darkly, and he was also behind Boyhood. The guy is an absolute legend. Anyway, he wrote this alongside Glen Powell, who is the man of the moment, and it has been compared by some to Grosse Point Blank. That's the John Cusack movie. So let's dive into Hitman and find out what all the fuss is about.
I realized not everyone fantasized about the same hitman. Every sting operation was a performance.
This is serious. I am in service business.
And each arrest was like a standing ovation.
Okay, Daniel Day.
I had it down to a science.
Sounds lovely.
Until things got, well,
Ron.
complicated.
Madison.
So the first thing to know about Hitman is that this is an incredibly cool movie. It is easily comparable to Grosse Point Blank. That's the John Cusack movie I mentioned in the opening. You could also compare it to Grifters, which is Cusack, Melanie Griffiths and Angelica Houston. In there as well are shades of Ocean's 11 purely in tone. The first one only, with George Clooney, Brad Pitt and everybody else in Hollywood. But it concerns Gary Johnson. He is a full-time theology teacher, philosophy teacher, but he is also an undercover operative for the local police department, masquerading as Ron, who is a cool, casual and calculating hitman for hire. It really is a comedy of errors. There's miscommunication, and it just flies by even at 2 hours and 10 minutes. So what else is it about Hitman which is going to make people want to click into their streaming service right now and dive in?
We're expecting heavy turbulence, so prepare to brace for impact.
Do I scare you?
No.
Remember the lady came in trying to have her husband killed that we let go?
No, that he let go.
Yeah, her husband was just found dead.
So what happened?
So before anyone says anything, nobody clicks into their streaming service. Give me a slap next time you see me. So what else is it about Hitman? It comes down to the chemistry between Glen Powell and Adriana Arjona. She was in Good Omens and she was in Andor, and they play this sort of sassy love interest I don't know. There's a dynamic which is going on there. The connection they have on screen is very cool. They clearly have chemistry. Yes, there's some hot and heavy action in there, but really that's just it's irrelevant to the actual connection and the way the characters work on screen. This is what ultimately makes Hitman more fun than it should be, because it's quite a slim story. It's not something that you haven't heard before, haven't seen before in some way or another, but it flies by. And this really, it's the making of, there's a movie star in the making here, in Glen Powell, and honestly off the back of Hitman I can't wait to see what he does next. Maybe aside from Twisters, because it's Twisters, come on now. Right, moving on to that rating, let's do that.
My perspective, you're getting a little sloppy. You think you're Gary? Or the hitman?
My name is Gary Johnson, and my simple question for you is, who is your hitman?
We'll see.
Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood.
So understandably, I'm going to be giving Hitman a 4 out of 5 on the big old 5 scale because of the chemistry between the leads, because of the writing and the direction from Linklater, and ultimately there are so many little ensemble moments in the supporting players who surround the central pairing that this is absolute gold dust, and why it didn't get an original cinema release rather than going straight to a streaming service is absolutely beyond me. But on that note, let's dive into the trailer. I'll do that next. And so it is that you've reached the end of the video review for Hitman, which is currently out on Netflix and should be seen with all haste and as soon as possible. Yes, I know they mean the same thing. So on that note, I'm going to ask you, did you like the video? If so, give me a thumbs up. Failing that, you can just drop a comment in the comment boxes below and I will respond. And finally, you can just subscribe so that every Tuesday and every Saturday when another one of these videos makes its way into the ether, onto the ether, you will get a little notification, and then you can drop in and watch or listen to as much or as little as you like, and then go about your day. On that note, maybe check out the rest of the channel and pop over to the Patreon page. Cheers.